If people were all the same, life would be pretty boring. So you have to admire someone who breaks with the ranks of what most consider normal and work tirelessly to fulfill a dream. Doug Lund introduces us to such a person in this morning's Eye on KELOLAND.
It was quite a scene last July as a home known as the Hunter House was lifted from its foundation at 17th and Minnesota in Sioux Falls, where it had spent the last 100 years, and slowly tugged down one of the busiest streets in town. Moving any house is a delicate job, but in this case, street lights had to be swung out of the way and power lines rerouted. Still, the crew managed to finesse the old structure out of town to its new location in Lenox. Here it is, a year later, and the house survived the trip very well. In fact, it's now home to 300 residents. Now, before you question how big this place really is, it should be noted that the only ones living here are dolls. That's right, this is what might be the biggest dollhouse in the world. It's owned by Cheryl, who wanted someplace to show off her huge collection.
I've been looking for quite some time for a house that was suitable to display the dolls.
She preferred something old, something solid, and the Hunter House fit the bill, even though it was going to cost $17,000 to move. Her husband, Ernest, had some doubts.
He's very supportive. Yeah. Very supportive. When I told him I was going to move a house here, he said, "You're crazy."
But Cheryl never doubted her decision, and although she may appear as fragile as her porcelain dolls, she's as tough as they come, spending long hours every day for a year doing back-breaking work, refinishing floors and oak woodwork, fixing plaster, scraping, and repainting. But now the work is done, and Cheryl's dollhouse is open to the public. Even though the house is a century old, the dolls in this collection are not.
I don't like the real old ones.
Really?
Yeah. They're not for value. I don't have them for value. I want them for looks. That's why I bought them, to look at.
Cressman gets her dolls from all over, auctions, yard sales, in stores, or out of catalogs. She has no particular brand or size in mind.
The expression on the face is what I look at.
What stands out besides the porcelain poses, though, is the remarkable detailed clothing each doll has. Cressman made many of the outfits herself from the hundreds of patterns she keeps on file in the old dollhouse's new basement. Although not a big Barbie fan, Cheryl and two of her sisters designed and crocheted amazing gowns for most of these that now adorn the Barbie room. A few years ago, she moved beyond collecting and dressing the figures.
I like dolls so much I wanted to make them myself, so I took a class to learn how to make dolls.
Cheryl then bought molds, porcelain, and a kiln and started creating her own.